Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to start off my video today by first and foremost apologizing for not having upload in quite some time. I have just been very backlogged. I have all the footage recorded, but I've just been so swamped that I haven't had time to actually sit down and edit. So I promise I'm trying to get back on track. It's just that I was away. I went on a little vacation with my girlfriends, so I'm have that vlog coming up as well. We were in Cuba, so I'm going to be sharing that video with you guys soon enough, plus some upcoming Ramadan and Eid videos, which part of it is today, so I'm doing a DIY on how to make this Ramadan Mubarak and Eid Mubarak sign slash wreath, so you can use it for both. So that's what today's video is going to be about. Also, we have a big surprise coming up in May, so make sure you continue following my family's adventures if you are interested in knowing what we're up to. All right, so I'm not going to waste too much of your time. Today's video, I'm just gonna get into my tutorial and then I will update you guys again in another few days. I apologize again, and I'm trying to get back on track, so just bear with me, and I love you guys all. Thank you. Starting off using this wooden wreath ring that I picked up from Michael's a while ago, I'm going to be painting it with metallic silver paint as well as some glitter glue that I picked up from the dollar store. So here is a completed ring. I didn't paint it on camera because it's pretty straightforward. Now I'm using some Bristol board that I also got from the dollar store. These are very inexpensive. They're 2 for $1. These are the dimensions in case you're interested. And I'm going to be using this to make the Ramadan Mubarak and the Eid Mubarak signs. I'm measuring in 10 centimeters from the shorter edge of the Bristol board, and this is what I'm going to be using to create my sign. You want to measure all the way up along just to make sure that you get a straight line. So continue on and mark it in a few spots so it helps you to create that straight line that you're looking for. Now, the reason I'm not making a more permanent sign, I'm using a Bristol board, which is kind of cheap, but the reason I'm doing that is because I'm making my sign interchangeable. So I want to be able to remove the Ramadan Mubarak sign and put an Eid Mubarak one in its place. And the wreath that I'm creating, I wanted to be able to use it for multiple purposes, which is why I'm doing it this way. Now I'm going to measure up about 5 centimeters, 4.5-ish, something like that. I don't fully remember. And I'm going to create a V in the center. This is just going to make the sign look a little bit more put together. Fold the paper in half, bring the 2 edges together, but be sure not to crease the center. You don't want a crease line in the middle of your sign. So just hold the 2 edges together, and then you're going to cut the V out. You should end up with something that looks like this. Now I'm going to place it over top of the wreath in the center where I plan to place my sign, and I'm going to use some pencil to mark the lines of where I need to make sure that I don't decorate this area, because this is where the sign needs to go. Now I bought these gemstones from the dollar store as well. I had to use about 3 of these packs to get the whole wreath made. They are self-sticking, so there's adhesive at the back of these, so I'm able to pull it off and just stick it on. But I found that even with this type of gem, I had to use a little extra glue, so I decided to add some hot glue to it afterwards. But if you don't have some that has adhesive at the back, then you will have to use hot glue or a good quality glue anyways. But my tip is, even with the self-sticking gems, try to use some glue, especially if you want this to be a permanent project. Now to cover up the center of the wreath, I am using the smaller size gems. Now that the bottom of the wreath is covered, I'm going to place some flowers at the top of the wreath. I wanted to actually use flowers with more color, like a gold and something, but I didn't have time to go shopping, and then I found this one lone pink one that I had at home from another project, but it looked really odd because it was just one. So I decided to use the 3 white ones that I had, but ideally I would if I'd like to have something with more color, and I probably would have liked to have some more flowers as well, at least like 7 or 8 of them. But anyways, I've learned to make do with what I have at home. These things are supposed to be fun, and they're supposed to especially excite the kids for this time of year. And I think if you're putting in the effort, that's all that truly matters. But if you're making this, please feel free to customize it and do whatever you'd like. Like I said, I think some gold layers of flowering would look absolutely beautiful, or even like a subtle pink. Whatever your color scheme throughout your home is, feel free to customize. And if you guys decide to make this, please share the pictures with me on Instagram because I would love to see it. I'm using some hot glue to glue the flowers on. I originally took off the green stem from the other one, but then I decided to put it back on and see how it was. But I found that the green stem made the flower too stiff, so with the other two, I'm taking the green stem off and just gluing the fabric flowers on instead. Using the pencil guidelines that we created earlier, I'm going to continue decorating from the edge over to the flowers. You can see the glitter glue, it just adds that little bit of sparkle, so the areas that are not covered with gemstones, they will still glisten in the light because there's the sparkles in there. You can see I'm also using some hot glue now to reinforce some of these gems. Although the adhesive is on there, I felt that some of them were falling off as I was maneuvering the wreath around. So just to ensure that they don't keep falling off, I'm using some hot glue now. Okay, so this is what our wreath is looking like so far. It's not really a wreath. I mean, you can use it for anything really. It's just a sign. It kind of has like a bit of an engagement ring type feel to it. So I'm thinking you could even use it for an engagement party or a bridal shower or something. But anyways, I am doing it for my Ramadan and Eid decor. So you can see the original banner that we made fits perfectly in between those gemstones, and I also printed Ramadan Mubarak off my computer. Yeah, I know this is a little cheesy, but because I'm doing this so last minute, I didn't have time to actually go and buy vinyl letters. But if you have a Cricut or a Silhouette machine, you can print out your own, or if you get a chance to go to the store and pick up some nice vinyl lettering or order it online or something, it would just look so much better. If you are a calligrapher, you can just do this by hand. Unfortunately, I'm not any of those things, so I just printed it out on my computer and I'm going to glue it on. So yeah, it doesn't have the same feel that I would ideally like it to have, but it's going to have to do for this year. Hopefully for the next Eid coming around in June, I believe, I will be able to get some proper sign here. But that's why I love the idea of this being disposable, because then I can just take it off and get a proper sign up later on. Now I have this liquid outline marker. It's sort of like a paint pen, and I'm going to use this to outline the outside of the banner just to give it a little hint of color, because most of my decor is gold and silver, and this, I feel like, especially with the white flowers and the gemstones, it just looks a little bit too cold, so I want to add some warmth to it using this outline marker. The smart thing to do is to use a ruler to create your outline just so it stays nice and straight, and you can make it as thin or as wide as you'd like. I didn't do the smart thing, and that's why I made this mistake. You see the little paint pen kind of went outwards and ruined my banner, so I ended up making another one. But yeah, so do this, use a ruler. Okay, now that I finally have my banner done, I'm using some double-sided tape to stick the banner onto the wreath ring. If you have made a permanent sign, you can actually use magnets or some type of Velcro at the back, and that can also help you make it interchangeable. You can make several different signs and magnets attached to the ring, and that way you can change up the signs as you feel. I'm just using double-sided tape. The Ramadan Mubarak sign is done, and here is my Eid Mubarak sign. So in a couple of weeks I will be removing the Ramadan one, and I'm going to put up the Eid Mubarak sign, and I'm planning to put the Eid Mubarak wreath on the front door outside, because it's not a wreath you would leave outdoors overnight, but you can put it if it's just for the day. If you're celebrating Eid for the day, especially if you have guests coming over, it would be nice to have it on the doorway as they enter. And I just created this ring using some crafting wire in order to hang the wreath on the doorway. Anyways, this is the completed look, and you can see one of my gemstones is falling off, so I'm gonna have to go back and reinforce some of these gems again, but I thought I would show you the completed item before I head back and start doing that. You can use this in multiple places. I got this Ramadan Kareem sign from Amazon and it came broken, so that was very upsetting. But anyways, you can see the overall look. I'm going to be moving this around in multiple places just to see where I like it best. I also have my huge apothecary jars on the side. I removed the ornaments that have been in there since I believe last November, and I think I'm going to end up painting them with the mirrored glass paint. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you decide to make something like similar to this, please do share it with me on Instagram. I can be followed and DM'd on there, and of course leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that big thumbs up if you did enjoy my content, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching.